Right, and so now we've got the rock here, and as you can see, I've already done some plugs there. So we're going to go ahead and we're actually going to show you how this is done. So I figure we're going to cut the SPS first, as it's closest to me. So we're going to go in our fragging manual and we're going to have a look at the index, how to frag SPS corals, pages 9 to 10. So that should be at the back. And there we go. So SPS corals are an order of coral species that have a stony calcium carbonate skeleton with tiny coral polyps. Examples include Montipora, such as this plating Montipora capricus, and Acropora. So we need the coral dip set up, we need coral cutters, we need coral glue, and we need the frag plugs, as so. So let's put that to one side and let's have a go at this, shall we? So I'm going to grab my coral cutters here. Now with branching you would be able to do a clean cut, but with plating it's more or less just cut and see how the fragments work out. So we've got a perfect fragment there, which is perfect, and we're going to get the coral glue and we're going to apply it to the bottom. You don't need too much, best to have just enough rather than too much. I'm going to dip that in there as it is water activated, this glue, and we're going to just pop our Montipora capricus on the top, and we're going to put the tweezers on like so, get rid of that little hair, and we're going to pop it, just a quick dip just to get that glue going, and we're going to leave it out on the side just ready to dry. And we're going to go ahead with the cutters again and just keep on working at it. We've got another piece, a bit smaller. Oh, and it's chopped in half unfortunately, but that's the nature with plating. I'm afraid it is more or less just chop and hope, but it will work out. We do the same again. We're going to put that on this side. Tweezer again. Glue this side. This side. And again. And we'll leave it there. And we go again. And look, there's a bit already done. Right there. And go again. Same procedure. A little bit there. Put that on. I've got a bit on my hand. This one's a bit more tricky, so I'm just going to put a bit on there. As you can see, it is a little bit fiddly, but it is just good fun. And same again. We'll do that bit there, that bit there, hopefully it'll reach. And just put it across. Smudge it around. Smudge it around. And tweezers again, and we'll pop it in, and we'll just leave that to the side. And we're going to go again, and I think you're starting to get the message. Oh, that worked out lovely. And we'll just do another one, like so. Nice big piece, another nice big piece. Little amphipod friend there, that's a sign of a very healthy tank. And I'm just going to pop that into the tank, which the frag tank is right next to me, as you saw from the previous video. Same again. Glue. Glue. Get rid of that nasty tube worm. Don't want that in the tank ideally. And same again. Do the end plug. And that is a bit bigger, so it's going to take a little bit more, but it should have worked nicely. I'm just going to be a bit more careful. Same again. There was a bit of chalice on the end of that. I'll just snip that for now. Leave that over there. And we've got all this dead matter here, so I'm just going to eliminate that. That worked out a lot better than I thought it would. Same again. Dip. And glue. And you see, I'm not even using that much. Really not. It's good stuff, this glue, it really is. Cyanoacrylate. Cyanoacrylate. There you go. Excuse my northern accent. We'll put it back in. Leave it to the side. And we'll pop it just there. Now I think there's a little bit of live stuff left here and here, but it's not really worth fragging. So all I'm going to do is just pop that back in the tank where the live rock is, and hopefully something will happen, and I will feel the need to put it on a plug in the next weeks or months. Right, so for the next part of this video I'm going to attack the pulsing xenia right here. Now I just prefer to have pulsing xenia on live rock rubble, so I'm just going to put it on live rock rubble, but unfortunately that will not be supplied in the FragTrade basic fragging kit. However, you're more than welcome to put it on the frag plugs. It's just a personal preference of mine. So let's have a look in the manual once more and decide what we should do. First of all, as you can see, how to frag soft corals. It's pages 5 to 6. So let's have a look. 5, and then it's the next page 6, and then there's also how to do zoas on the next page, which we'll cover in the next part of this video. So first of all, what are soft corals? Soft corals are an order of corals known as Anconisia. This order includes all fleshy corals such as leathers, Kenya tree, mushrooms and zoas, and, in this video, pulsing xenia. Another coral which is recognised in this order is Gorgonian, or more commonly known as sea fan coral. So, we need the coral dip set up, we need coral cutters. However, this isn't quite the same as the branch stuff, so I'm going to use the scalpel here, and then frag plugs again, and our coral glue. Right, so let's put that to one side and I'll show you how we're going to attack this. So first of all, let's go for this here, this one. So we can see, I reckon if that was fully opened out, there'd be about 40 heads on that, and I want frags of around about 20 heads. Now, an interesting fun fact, if you were to sustainably frag this rock and keep it, which we were before, then always leave a little bit of flesh on the bottom of the rock in the hope that this will recover. And quite often, especially with pulsing xenia, which are very aggressive growers, they will do. So I'm going to go ahead and grab this with the tweezers and just do a middle incision like so, right down the middle, and just pop it up. And scoop it across and grab it with the tweezers. Perfect. Now, pulsing xenia, it's very, very difficult to frag these because you do not want to get the heads downwards. Basically, we need to be very careful. Just got hair on the end of there, so let's go. Put the coral glue in the middle. Now you've noticed I have not actually wet the plug this time, and that's very specific with this coral. I just find it puts out a lot of slime and nastiness, and it more or less does it for you. and it's best to not complicate things. So I identified the stalk just there, and I've got the glue, and I'm literally going to approach it like putting a lid on a jar. Just popping it down, and I'm leaving it just to hang like so. So you can see that's like that, and I'm going to keep it like that and just dip it, and that should hopefully work out. Although the heads have just gone near the glue bit, which I'm trying to avoid with the best of my might. Good. And I'm just going to make a little platform with these. So I did actually naturally do it with the frag plug there, even though I wanted to do it with the rock, but never mind. We'll do it with the rock for the future ones now, shall we? So you can see how you would do it with that there. So let's go ahead. Tweezers again. Scalpel. Let's cut the flesh. I'll leave that there. Get a bit of rock. Now it's quite often that these frags, as much as I am good at fragging, will come off because they're soft corals, which means they don't have a stony calcium carbonate skeleton. They are soft, like their name suggests. So all you need to do is just be patient and ideally place them in a fragging basket. But fortunately, the actual fragging kit does come with the actual stand that holds the frag plugs in your tank, and it does have sides on it, which we were very particular on to make sure that you do not lose your corals, or to reduce the chance of losing your corals, I might add, because anything can happen, especially in marine. We'll put that there, and I'm just going to complete the rest of this fragging, and then we'll move on to the next part of this video. Right, so now we've done the pulsing xenia and they were correctly dipped and put in the tank, we're now going to move on to how to frag zoas. Now zoas here, I've got a plug and zoas all around here and zoas around here. So for this video we're going to get these ones here onto a plug. Now these ones here are lemon zoas. So they're not too high end, lemon zippers I think specifically. So we're going to get all of those zoas on one plug right there. So what do? I'm going to sit down. I'm going to open my FragTrade user's manual, and we're going to have a look here how to frag soft corals, and we're going to look at pulps, pages 7 to 8. The zoanthids are pulps. So we're going to move in here past the fleshy coral section and to the how to frag pulp section. So what we need is the coral dip, the frag plugs, the coral glue, and the target colony, and a scalpel. So let's put the dip aside, and let's put that aside there, and let's go ahead and frag our zoas. So I'm just going to pick this rock up and rotate it and get my scalpel. Now first of all we're going to get the bottom bit and we're going to carefully do an incision up and down. So just imagine that you are sat at the dinner table and you've got a pork chop in front of you and you're just simply trying to cut down it to get a chunk, and we're scooping underneath like so until we get the whole colony. So I've got the first lot there. So once again we're going to get our plug, we're going to dip it, and then with zoas what we do is we put the glue on first and we spread it around with the end, and then we're going to get the tweezers. I'm just going to bring them up a bit closer for you so you can see. and we're going to get the plug. We're going to pop them just on there and just scrunch them down, and then going to dip them in the coral dip. Now there's a couple left that we want on this frag. I say a couple, there's just the one. So we're just going to get that. And we're going to see if we can get him in with the glue with the others. Same again. And we're going to squeeze him down. And we're going to pop it just in there. And hopefully that one will heal up really nicely. And that is how to frag zoanthids. Right, so last but certainly not least, we're going to be fragging the chalice coral just here. Now the chalice coral is an LPS, which stands for large pulp stony. So we go to our FragTrade basic manual kit once again, and we look at the index, how to frag small LPS corals, pages 11 to 12, which I'm assuming is at the back. Let's open her up. So, what are LPS corals? LPS corals are an order of coral species that have a stony calcium carbonate skeleton, just like what SPS corals are. Examples in relation to this kit that you could frag are Duncans, candy canes, Goniopora, the small ones, Aconistria or acons, and branching Euphilia, or in this case, chalice coral, which is plating. Now this is going to be very different to what you would expect with most LPS corals, as this is plating, and so this is going to be rather easy. But for the purpose of this video, and the purpose of fragging off of this rock, it is absolutely perfect. So, what are we going to need, you may ask? So, we need the coral dip again, we need the coral cutters, and we need the frag plugs just there. So let's pop that to one side. And let's go. Let's just cut our target area just here. And we've got a nice cut in just there. Then once again, we get the plug and we wet it as usual. We get this and we always apply it to the bottom of plating corals because different texture gradients. And we're just going to pop it on the plug and hopefully that will settle nicely. That does look like a good frag for the future, that'd be nice. Now we just pop it in and we'll leave it on the side just to go there. And whilst I remember the zoanthid frags from previously, we're just going to pot in, dip, oh, it's gone face down, we don't want that. And we'll leave them to get rid of any nasty parasites. Now this is looking like an encrusting coral, this, and it's really stuck to the bottom of this, so I'm going to go with it with a scalpel and with this here, but that is not important for this video, so I'm going to cut it there. But thank you very much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this basic fragging kit tutorial of how to frag soft corals, which include zoanthids and the pulsing xenia, as well as hard corals, specifically SPS, which included the Montipora capricus, and then the LPS corals, which in this case today was this Hollywood stunner chalice coral. Thank you very much for your time. Please like and subscribe to our YouTube videos and follow us on Instagram, but most importantly, keep on fragging. Thank you.